The thing that I liked most about Michael Jordan as a player was the fact that I didn't have to try to guard him. If you had a poor defensive scheme, he was going to fill the hoop up until you either figured it out or the game was over and you lost the game. Some of his acrobatic drives to the hoop are just remarkable. You know, he can get past the defense and use a little bit of English off of the glass. The ball drops in.
The yell weaving its way through these quiet winter streets as all the action is inside the raucous Chicago Stadium.
To the All-Star Exhibition Game. Get up and get loud for your West All-Stars. At forward, making his 7th All-Star appearance, the standout veteran of the Denver Nuggets, 6'7", Alex English. Making his All-Star debut, the front court star of the Utah Jazz, the mailman, 6'9", Karl Malone. The man in the middle, an All-Star, each of his 4 pro seasons from the Houston Rockets, 7 feet, Hakeem Olajuwon. At guard, making his first All-Star appearance, the virtual star of the Denver Nuggets, 6'3", Lafayette Fat Lever. And the NBA leader in assists in his 8th All-Star game from the Los Angeles Lakers, 6'9", Irvin Magic Johnson. The head coach of the West All-Stars is Brad Nelson. Let's hear it for your West All-Stars. And now, the starting lineup for the Eastern Conference. At forward, a 3-time most valuable player, an All-Star each of his 9 seasons from the Boston Celtics, 6'9", Larry.
Greetings, everyone, from Chicago, the host of the 1988 All-Star Game. Alongside the terrific Clark Kellogg and our reporter David Aldridge on the sidelines, I'm Kevin Harlan. And Clark, this terrific city has produced some greats, and 4 of them playing tonight.
You're exactly right, Kevin. The Windy City, Chicago, has produced Mo Cheeks, Isaiah Thomas, Doc Rivers, and Mark Aguirre, all All-Stars. And I'm sure they've got plenty of family and friends in attendance to enjoy their performance on the court.
Yep, so much to celebrate. And Clark, is there a common thread when you think about a Chicago-type player?
Well, I certainly do believe there's a common thread. When playing outside or outdoors in the Windy City, the perimeter shot can easily get blown off course. So you got to be able to get that thing to the rack and in a straight line fashion. And that's something all Chicago players share in common.
A lot of high flyers, you're right. And your West All-Stars, Fat Lever and Magic Johnson, the guards, Alex English and Karl Malone at the forward spots, and in the middle, Hakeem Olajuwon. For the East, it's Moses Malone inside, and Dominic Wilkins with Larry Bird, the forwards. And in the backcourt, Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan.
And you look at Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, rivals since college. Early on, no love lost between them, but over time, they've become friends.
Now here's Jordan. After the miss from Alex English. Jordan passes to Malone and taken away by Johnson. And an exhibition game with plenty of motivation for these stars nonetheless. For more, let's say hello to David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. Now, I was talking to Larry Bird about his goals for the matchup, and he said, I think our job is to get the ball to Michael Jordan. get him into the game and get the crowd into the game. So if Bird has anything to do with it, Michael Jordan will be the MVP. And that would be poetic justice this weekend. Guys, back to you.
Especially where we are. Well said, David. Thank you. Jordan Clark, obviously, in front of his hometown crowd. He loves it, and they really love it.
No doubt about it, Kevin. You think about the fans in Chicago. They love basketball. And I can expect, and you can too, a ton of energy, some extra adrenaline anytime Michael touches the ball.
Clark, this city is on fire with Jordan, aren't they? I mean, they love him, and they think about what's to come. My goodness.
Michael
Smoking.
Yeah, the East All-Stars shooting their first free throws here for the night. That one is off. Clark, you see Larry and Magic together in those Converse ads. They've become really the faces of the NBA.
And Kevin, I think they've inherited the mantle from the great Dr. J. He's done such a great job representing the league all these years, and certainly he's left it in good hands with those two.
Yeah, that's a great comparison. Second free throw, no good.
Usually free throws are a formality for him. I didn't expect that result when he stepped up there.
And Michael Jordan winning the dunk contest yesterday. Clark, can he add to his trophy case tonight?
Kevin, I think his teammates want to see him win the MVP. I think they're going to give him as many touches as he needs to have a chance to do it.
Ooh, that'll be fun to watch. Here's Jordan. Following the score by Hakeem Olajuwon. Jordan dishes to Bird. The shot off that time.
You know, you don't always get that opportunity, so those are the ones you hate to miss.
Wilkins grabs the miss.
Well, it's not easy to time an alley-oop. Just ask that pair.
On the wing, Jordan. Defended by Lever, and he gets it to go. And if there was a snub, Clark, for this year's All-Star game, many felt it was the sharpshooter Dale Ellis of the Sonics.
Well, you take a look at what he's done. He's the only top 10 scorer in the NBA who was not an All-Star.
The Tennessee Volunteers should be here. And the Eastern All-Stars favored to win tonight.
Star power and firepower. Veteran IQ and smarts. But you never know. The West has quite a bit of talent, too.
Indeed, they do. Here's Wilkins after the made shot from Karl Malone. Bird finds Wilkins. And here's Jordan outside. Offensive rebound. Second shot opportunity. Here's Bird. Malone trying to break free. Bird's shot is good. Harkin amidst this all-star celebration, labor negotiations between the players and the NBA continue.
Trying to find their way through this current impasse, Kevin, and looking to avoid any interruptions to this game that we all have a love affair with.
Yeah, I know you and I hope they can find some common ground.
Please make it happen soon.
Here is Thomas after Magic Johnson's bucket and the basket by Malone. And tonight's All-Star MVP will have a $5,000 check presented in their name, Clark, to the Thurgood Marshall Black Education Fund.
A great cause in honor of a terrific American.
And Michael Jordan won the dunk contest last night, and man, was it great. What a thriller. He and Dominique Clark put on a great show, and you could tell they both wanted it so badly. Perhaps the home court advantage gave Michael Jordan Clark the edge.
And there was another winner from last night, and that was Larry Bird, taking home the trophy in the three-point shootout. And he didn't even need to take off his warm-ups to handle his business.
Clark, somebody told me he looked at the rest of the competitors and said, okay, who's going to be in second place here? Who's going to finish behind me?
Sounds just like him.
Here's Lever, following the basket by Larry Bird. Lever against Thomas. Lever can't get it to go.
Now, there's an example of good defense beating good offense.
So they take the lead. And starting last season, Clark, Michael Jordan's scoring went through the roof.
Averaging over 37 points per game, partner, and he's kept close to that pace this season as well. Remarkable.
Amazing and remarkable, right. Wow. Here's Johnson following the basket by Michael Jordan. Lock at 6. Back to Olajuwon. That three off the mark. Hey, Clark, the record for points in the All-Star game is 42, set by Wilt Chamberlain back in the 1962 All-Star game.
And you know, a lot of Wilt's records seem virtually untouchable, but I don't think that one is. With all these great scores, who knows? It might be broken tonight.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun? Bird outside. There's the dish to Wilkins. Back to Bird. Good, and the nice assist for Wilkins. Bird's got 8 points.
How about this list? Players who have never missed an All-Star game in their careers. Jerry West, Bob Pettit, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, and Hakeem Olajuwon. Those last 3 playing here tonight.
And so it's Larry Bird making things happen for the East All-Star. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. Welcome back, everyone, to the 1988 All-Star Game here in Chicago. As these great fans hope Michael Jordan can bring home the win and the MVP hardware.
And the head coach of the East, Mike Fratello, his first time coaching in the All-Star game.
They've got Ewing. Jordan is out there with Rivers. Then there's Bird. And it's Doherty in at the 5. That's the 5 out there for the East All-Stars. The hook. Doherty grabs the board. How about that? Mike's a terrific friend of yours and mine, and Fratello's Hawks recently moved into first place in the East after the Cavs beat the Celtics. Clark enabling him to become the coach of the East All-Star.
So don't be surprised if the Cavs' Brad Doherty gets extended minutes in his first All-Star appearance. You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Johnson hits the jump hook. Johnson's got the game tied up here for the West All-Stars. And Magic Johnson, Clark, made it clear coming into this game that he wanted the challenge of defending the great Michael Jordan.
He certainly did, and the West as a team will certainly have their work cut out for him trying to slow that guy down.
That is going to be fun to watch. And Kareem looking to set the career record for All-Star scoring. Isn't that something?
It really is. Needs just 10 points to do it, Kevin, and you got to love his chances. I mean, that's a layup for him, pun intended.
Yeah, a good one. First one falls for him.
You know, there's so much that's amazing to me about Jordan, but his endurance stands out. He consistently gets stronger, it seems, as the game goes on.
And the East All-Stars making a change here. Ainge is checked in. McDaniels checked in for the West. Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone. Here's Johnson, and he banks in the layup. Johnson's got his 3rd basket of the night. Clark wide open, high scoring both ways.
These tremendous All-Stars are putting on a tremendous show, Kevin.
What a blast. Jordan the pass to Ewing. The size and aggression of Patrick Ewing inside.
And with Patrick Ewing leading the way, the New York Knicks finally competitive again. The big man has quickly found a rapport with rookie point guard Mark Jackson. They are a team on the rise. Book that.
And here early, Clark, the East has the edge.
You look at that team on the East squad, an embarrassment of riches, Kevin, and, you know, they've got so many weapons. I think it simply comes down to execution for them.
Here's Drexler. The vision of Magic Johnson is unsurpassed.
And at 26 points per game, Drexler ranks 7th in the league in scoring. His Blazers playing catch-up with the Lakers, though. Their improved defense has helped them overcome some early injuries.
And the East All-Stars decide to take their first time out here. And here's the East, trailing by 2. Rivers scanning the floor. Jordan on the wing. And another miss by the East. And the West has made their imprint here in the early going club.
Unfazed by those that are predicting otherwise. They're playing with a lot of confidence and maybe a little bit of an edge, too.
Yeah, you can see it, can't you?
Yep.
It's Jordan on the wing. And Patrick Ewing with the slam.
The #1 overall pick in 1985, and it was an all-star rookie season for Patrick Ewing. Hurt last year, but nice to see him back where he belongs, right in the all-star game.
And now let's go over to David Aldridge with a report on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Thank you, Kevin. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the oldest All-Star in history. This is his 17th game. No one else has been in more than 13. To put that into context, there were 6 players in yesterday's Legends game that were younger than Kareem. Magic Johnson says he respects Kareem more than anyone I know because of the pride this man has in whatever he does. Kevin, back to you.
He is a very proud individual. David, thank you. And Kareem's coming out here, Clark, after spending 2 days in bed with strep throat. I mean, it's remarkable.
And Kevin, that's exactly the pride Magic was talking about, and that's why it seems like every game we do, Kareem is adding to some type of record that he's already established. Tonight, he could very well become the leading scorer in the history of the All-Star game.
Isn't that phenomenal? They call him captain for a reason. He is truly the leader of this entire NBA.
Yes, sir. And Coach Mike Fratello, a colleague of ours, coaching in the All-Star game, standing tall amongst a bunch of tall guys in the NBA. You know, his dad was an amateur boxer, and, you know, I think that background gives Mike a lot of confidence as a coach.
And Clark, not easy for these coaches to put their stamp on the game. Only a 1-hour practice yesterday to get acquainted and move through some sets.
And you know, Kevin, it's not about necessarily practice time. A few offensive sets is all that's needed. I think it's how you manage the players and give them a platform to have fun and do what they do.
That's a good point. Looking at who's out there now for the West. Olajuwon comes in for McDaniel. And Levers subbed in for Clyde Drexler. And so he makes both from the line. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the West. 4-point game.
And you know, so far I like the effort for both teams. It's an exhibition, but each team showing great pride. They're getting after it.
Johnson against Thomas. On the wing, Ewing. He dishes it to McHale. Outside Thomas. 5 on the clock. McHale against Olajuwon. And another miss by the East. And Clark, so much talent for each side, but they got to develop that chemistry on the fly, don't they?
Exactly, and that's what the coaches will be looking for down the stretch. Which group of players really complement one another and give you the best chance to win?
Donaldson the pass to Johnson. Here's Olajuwon. Goes up again. The grace of Hakeem Olajuwon. Something special to see.
Hey, it's inexcusable not putting a body on Hakeem. I mean, you deserve to get cooked when you don't do that.
Thomas against Johnson. Thomas, no good.
Boy, patrolling the paint well, protecting the rim, that's exactly the kind of defensive effort you need against him.
And the shot goes in from McGuire.
And the Mavericks' Mark McGuire actually got married last night. How about that? A big weekend for the DePaul product.
Pass to McHale. Thomas with it. Good ball movement here by the East. Ewing kicks to Wilkins. Pass to Jordan. The shot's good on the assist from Wilkins. Wilkins has got his 3rd assist on the night. Jordan's gone 3 for 7 from the floor so far tonight. Kept alive, Johnson. Jordan with some nice D.
Well, he's much better than that. Really no excuse for missing that lay-in.
Wilkins finds McHale. It's Thomas outside. What a play! Simply dreams it in at the buzzer.
What an ending to the first half. A buzzer-beating 3 to take the lead.
Michael Jordan getting it done. And And we welcome you back to the second half of the 1988 All-Star Game here in Chicago. Great performances from these players, whether it's their first time participating or their 17th. The West trails by 3.
You know, you get into the latter stages of the game, and it's normal to wonder who will take home the MVP trophy. It's certainly one of those accolades that's mentioned when you talk about the great ones.
Getting underway here in the second half. Here's the 5 for Brad Nelson. Olajuwon is out there at Malone. Then it's Johnson. Then it's Lever. And it's English in at the 3 spot. And Jordan gets it to go. Jordan's got 12. And of the players in tonight's All-Star Game, Clark, 2 have won MVP trophies in this game before. Larry Bird and Isaiah Thomas.
And how about this, Kevin? Thomas has won 2 out of the last 4 years. If he was to get 3 MVPs, that would put him in some rarefied air, tying with Oscar Robertson for second most. Bob Pettit is the only player to do it 4 times.
Jordan dishes to Wilkins, and stolen by English. And out of bounds, the East All-Stars will have it. Moses Malone. He's checked in for the East.
Moses Malone.
And Clark, a slow start, but Michael Jordan is beginning now to get some momentum and heating up.
And the fans starting to take notice. They're feeling it a little bit, making some noise. They're certainly hoping he can make it happen.
The West trails by 3. To the inside, Olajuwon. Another spoon-fed basket for Magic.
Terrific feed that time by Johnson. The moment he sees he's got an open option, he makes the pass.
Thomas passes to Bird. That's good. And it's Thomas picking up the assist. He's got 10.
Larry Bird had it going last night at the Legends game, trying to fill it up tonight as well.
Lever outside. Johnson finds Malone. English outside. Shot clock at 6. Here's Johnson. He's got 8.
With defensive prowess and nearly a 7-foot wingspan, it's a lot harder to get a clean look on Jordan than most guys.
And the East with the lead.
Living up to that favored and top billing and giving these fans quite a show.
Rebound by the East All-Stars.
Outstanding anticipation defensively, turning an easy shot into a very hard one.
And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him. And that sends Michael Jordan to the free throw line. That one on English. And it'll be his 4th time going to the free throw line in the game. Doc Rivers, he's checked in for Isaiah Thomas. Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for the West. Drexler comes in for Magic Johnson.
At the line for 1.
Free throw good, Jordan. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the 3rd. Lever kicks to Abdul-Jabbar. And the best to Lever. And he's going up for the alley-oop. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Here's Wilkins. It's slammed in by Wilkins.
And Dominique Wilkins is the go-to scorer for the Hawks. No question about that. And he's embraced that leadership role as well. Obviously a huge part of the Hawks' success.
Here's Lever. And he can't stop the run as he misses.
You know, there's been talk about adding a 3rd referee to NBA games. The commissioner and the rules committee are in favor of it. And they plan to put it before the board of governors at the next meeting. Well, that's a good player missing from point-blank range. That's one you got to convert.
And that one's good by Drexler.
And enjoying his finest pro season, Clyde the Glide Drexler making his 2nd All-Star appearance. Worked over the summer with Kiki Vandeweghe to substantially improve his jump shot.
Jordan the pass to Bird. Good, and it's Jordan picking up the assist. Jordan's got his 6th assist on the night. So the timeout taken here, the 1st for the West All-Stars. And Clark, with 3 officials working games, do you think that'll result in more fouls being called, more eyes on the ball? They can pick up a lot more, certainly with more guys out there.
Yeah, you know, I think, Kevin, it might be the case early on with the 3rd official, but over time it'll smooth itself out. Off the ball, you know, some things you could get away with in the past, maybe not so much with 3 officials out there.
Malone with it, and Drexler picking him up. Back to Ainge. Rivers dishes to Ainge. Good ball movement here by the East. Just 5 to shoot. Rivers can't get it to go. And Kareem will need to get it going, Clark, to reach double digits.
I think his teammates have to do a better job of getting them touches. Just keep feeding him. He's more than capable of getting there. Boy, how about the extension at the rim? So explosive. Drexler powering through.
And Jordan gets it to go. Jordan's got 9 points now in just the second half. And Michael Jordan, not only last season's leading scorer by a mile, but Clark Kellogg this season, he is in the running for the Defensive Player of the Year.
He is the true definition of a two-way player. Gets it done at a high level at both ends.
And if there's a rival for the size and athleticism of Michael Jordan, Clark, it might just be Clyde Drexler.
I don't think there's any question about it, Kevin. The Phi Slamma Jamma alum can take flight with the very best of them.
Yep, great athletes. Back to Rivers. Outside, Jordan. Over McDaniel. They turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. And right now, let's watch that terrific swat.
You know, that's about as good a defensive play as you're going to see. Instant reaction to get a hand on the shot. Beautifully done.
James Worthy's checked in for Karl Malone.
And, you know, most of these guys are accustomed to having their team's offense built around them. It's an adjustment for them now to figure out who's going to get the rock most of the time. So tough to stop him on his way to the rack.
It is. Love the casual style on that bucket. Malone. Good, and it's Jordan picking up the assist. Jordan's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. And so it's Lever who brings up the ball for the West All-Stars, trailing by 5. McDaniel, the pass to Drexler. Over Ainge. And it's Drexler missing. The shot and game clock separated by 4. Ainge, the pass to Malone. And they're pushing it up. Throws it up high. Blows the alley-oop. Jordan with it. Over McDaniel. Off the mark. And so it's Michael Jordan making things happen for the East All-Stars. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. And we'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back to Chicago for the 1988 All-Star Game. The grand finale of what's been a tremendous weekend to celebrate the NBA.
You take a look at the landscape of the NBA, and I tell you what, that Central Division, dominant. How about this? 36 games above 500 combined.
Bird finds Jordan. Tremendous pass from Bird. He can do it all.
Efficiency personified there. Jordan scoring at will, taking over the game whenever he chooses.
They've got Ewing. Thomas is out there with Jordan. And it's Bird. And it's Wilkins. And at the small forward position. So that's the 5 in the game for the East All-Stars. Count that one, and the East All-Stars lead has been cut down now to just 5 on the baskets from Johnson. Well, you look at that Central Division, all 6 teams on pace to make the playoffs.
And, you know, Chicago got off to that great start, Kevin. Then they cooled off just a bit. Now tied with Detroit at 3 games behind Atlanta. Those teams are braked up pretty good.
Here's Johnson, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That's on Isaiah Thomas.
Johnson's length makes him hard to deal with inside, which is why he's able to draw fouls.
Down the stretch here, the East, Clark, out in front.
Getting it done. It's been such a fun game to watch, entertaining from both sides.
Woo, it sure has been. Karl Malone's checked in for the West. And Johnson drops them both.
He's as solid as it gets from the line. I mean, give him the opportunity. He's cashing in on those. Thomas deciding where to go with it.
Jordan against Drexel. Shoots from the elbow. And again, it's Michael Jordan. Jordan's got 6 in the quarter.
Yeah, Jordan's so crafty in the pick and roll. He's unpredictable and hard to stop in these situations.
English passes to Olajuwon. Here's Malone. And it's the East with the rebound. Ewing's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Well, if Jordan is going for that scoring record, Clark, he's running out of time.
You know, I think at this point, Kevin, he can't worry about the record. Just try to get the win. There's always next year to get the numbers. You know, this is why Jordan is such an effective scorer. Picks his spots really well inside.
Passes it to English. And here's Drexler outside. The West again cannot hit. The East leading by 9. It's Thomas on the wing. Looking for Ewing. He gets it there. Olajuwon with the block.
Boy, Olajuwon is a ferocious defender and rim protector. Really excels at slapping shots away. Nice finish there to guide it in.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't have to be a dunk, does it?
Nope.
Jordan outside. Here's Ewing. Unable to get that one. Good D by Olajuwon. The West trails by 7. Here's English. Tries again. Good work there as it goes.
You know, people said Alex English was too light of frame, too skinny, not athletic enough. Well, how about this? He's playing in his 7th straight All-Star game. So much for being too skinny.
And the East All-Stars making a change here. Malone's checked in. And West also making a switch. Lever's checked in.
And after the Central Division, the Midwest has been the 2nd most competitive division. Those teams are sitting at 10 games over 500.
Back to Wilkins. Great play by Bird to set it up. And the East leads by 7.
Well, Dominique runs into some tight defense, but sticks with his shot and manages to push through.
And Clark in the Midwest, those Rockets are really making a push.
And they're doing it behind Hakeem Olajuwon. To me, he's the best center in the NBA. They certainly got a chance to give the Lakers a run for their money.
Oh, yeah. Now Thomas to the paint. Here's Malone. And the shot goes in. And Moses Malone, Clark, the wily veteran for the Washington Bullets.
And you know, Kevin, his coach, Wes Unseld, says Malone has really added a level of aggressiveness to the Washington Bullets.
And he brings Clark a championship pedigree to the team.
No doubt.
Thomas passes to Bird. Down low. Here's Malone. It falls for the 6th time in 7 tries this contest. That's 86%.
Moses Malone is not only a 6-time rebounding champ, but he's also a 10-time All-Star. He gives the Washington Bullets some real muscle inside. Love the physical play from Malone, forcing the defender into a tough situation and drawing the whistle.
And the first of 2, no good. Heartbreaking.
For the West, Karl Malone. 2 shots.
And he can't get the second one to drop either. Coming up empty that time.
Well, I tell you what, if you wanted the template for the perfect power forward, it might be Karl Malone. I mean, he's got everything you want in a format.
Here's Malone. Good, and it's Jordan picking up the assist. Jordan's got his 8th assist here tonight.
Found the crease, took advantage, and got it in close.
Johnson, the pass to Malone. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Malone's got 4 this quarter.
And the 6'9" forward, Karl Malone out of Louisiana Tech, playing for the Utah Jazz. Tonight, he's wearing number 7 to honor the great Pete Maravich, who himself was a 3-time All-Star with the New Orleans Jazz.
Here's Johnson. He can't get that one. Great D that time from Bird. Lever against Thomas. Here's Wilkins. Kicks it out to Malone. It's stolen by Olajuwon. Pass break. Here comes the West. English with the ball. Lever, the pass to Olajuwon. And that's collected by Malone. One more shot might be all it takes here.
Exactly. That might be the final nail, so to speak.
Yep, that one goes.
What a way for them to finish the game. Closing it out with some terrific play.
And so here are the West All-Stars. It's a 13-point game. That's good from Malone on the assist by Johnson.
And, you know, before every game, Karl Malone calls his mother back in Summerfield, Louisiana, to ask what numbers he should shoot for. Tonight, she said go for 25 and 11.
Shots good from Bird. And Larry Bird winning 3 straight MVP awards from 1983 to 1986.
You know who the last player was to do that?
I'm going back to the 60s. You tell me.
Yeah,
I know you
Bill
know.
Russell.
Yeah, right.
It's Bill Russell, 1960 to 63.
Of course, I'm glad we brought. And the Eastern All-Stars delivered. The favorites coming in, but they did not disappoint.